Hello, viewers. Good morning. I believe that it's been a stunning morning so far for all of you guys, and we're going to do some great thing today after the talk, because today we have a guest who has a significant amount of experience in different type of industry and as an HR professionals. And after bringing so many experiences in industry, finally she decided to start helping other HR professionals to be successful in HR role. So now she's a lecturer of human resource management at Marcus Oldham College. And I'm pleased to introduce you today, Kat Gorman. Hi, Kat. Kat, how are you today?
Very well, thank you, and hello, everyone.
All right, so if you want to build your career in HR field, this is a great stream for you to watch. If you want to, you are also already in, want to do an organizational development, or you want to do your future career forecasting in any field, we're going to talk about it too, because Kat is going to talk about it. So now let's move to the next question as well. So the next question is going to be a little bit about your organization driving skill, because I think I just want to bring it here in this conversation because I think it's so valuable. Because a lot of people going to work and they forgot why they really go to work. They're very much focused about their salary, but why they're coming to work and what value they need to add on in the company, and which HR really focused about learning about it. So how do you want to explain organizational driving skill as an employee inside the spirit of working, and how do you see it?
So do you mean sort of like how do you see people being driven in the workplace, or do you mean? Yeah. Okay. So I actually teach a little bit about this in at the moment around motivation, and I think the big thing is that people at different stages of their career are driven by different things. People at different stages may just simply be interested in getting a job and getting an income and helping them live their lives. Then as you move through, you might become more focused and more motivated by developing your career, taking the next steps through your career, because that might give you some self validation or make you feel like you're developing and growing. Money may not be as important as actually just getting the experience. So, that can change. And obviously as you then progress through your career, it's about it might be more about giving back to the industry that you've spent your lifetime working within, and therefore you might be motivated by, doing things such as this, helping others experience a successful career. So, that may be what motivates you. All throughout your life, you'll be motivated by different things. But, in the workplace, I think it's about every manager recognizing that every person they've got in their team will be there for a different reason. And trying to understand that and utilize that to help them achieve their goals is, I think, one of the most important critical aspects of any manager. That's what I've always said, I go into a job as a manager with the goal of making my job irrelevant or not needed, because everyone in my team has been so skilled that they don't need me anymore. And that's, I think that's a critical point for any manager and anyone going into a role is to understand what is driving you, so you can have that conversation with your manager and they can help you get there. So I don't think there's a one size fits all really about what drives people in the workplace. But I think it is up to each individual manager to understand what that is and help that person get to where they want to go.
I think what you just said is very valuable. I just feel as a lot of people are thinking about they're going to work and they need to be in the same company for years after years in the same position. So Kate, and I'm very much aligned with you too as well. When I want to go to work, like you mentioned about goal and helping the team out and make yourself redundant. And when you can develop your people to a certain level, and you can make yourself redundant there, the two things going to happen. One, you probably will move to the next role in your same organization, or probably the another organization. So it's always a winning game for you guys. So never being shy to develop your people, empowering your people. And one of the things Ken also mentioned about, you are in a company because of a pain point of a company. Company has a pain point, and that's why they hire you. And that's your goal, to resolve that pain point and build processes so the pain point can extinct from the company. So that's really to that point number one, where you can make yourself even redundant by developing other people. And that's always winning game for you, because that will push you to the next role, the same organization or in the next role. Good work will be always recognized. That's the rule of the workforce. The last question is about what are the top 5 skills you will be looking for an HR operations role?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Look, it's similar to, I think, what I spoke about before. You know, I would be looking for someone who has those critical thinking skills, who's able to look at a situation from all angles, and I guess make some really, and make their decisions based on valid and reliable data. To make sure that, assessing a situation critically and moving forward with the best possible solutions. So I think that's a really important skill, not just in HR operations, but I think in pretty much every role in every organisation anywhere. Critical thinking, as we're in this hugely changing work environment, is a fundamental skill, I would say. I think, again, obviously talking about those things around employment law and industry trends, I think keeping yourself informed is a critical thing. What's happening in the industry, what's happening in the world of work, what are your competitors doing, what's new technology or new practice that's coming out. So always keeping yourself informed, and, from a HR operations perspective, critical. There's a lot going on globally. Management is a key issue that's very closely linked to HR operations. So what's happening in the world of management, reading journals, reading magazines, following managers, which you talked about before, is really important. So and if you can display that, you can apply that knowledge in the workplace and in your jobs, in your work. Again, it's really sort of going back over some of those other things. I'd be interested in looking at someone who's keen to learn, who wants to experience, and not only formal learning. I'm not talking about education. I'm talking about, willing to put their hand up and say, I'll get involved in that project. I don't know much about it, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to understand this. I think is really, really important. So they're probably my top suggestions there.
Thank you. So that's a question actually brings some more about it. So Kat already mentioned about some of the when you should be doing it, right? And then there are a few things she mentioned more after this like a side question. So she mentioned about, again and again, she's been talking about critical thinking. You really need to build that thing. Number 2 is about industry trend, learn about what is happening in the industry. And then she mentioned about keen to learn, always keen to learn. And the last one, she actually added additional thing about the can-do attitudes. If you have built up can-do attitudes, it's going to be very rewarding for you in every phase of your career. The can-do is a no-brainer thing. Thank you, Kate, for answering all those questions.
And you probably wanted to see the whole podcast episodes where we share a lot of strategies. So don't forget to click this video right now so you can see the whole episodes where we share a lot of strategy. Click the video right now and I will see you there. Are you a leader or an HR professional? So for you, this is a great channel. So don't forget to subscribe.